And on today's episode, we are talking about hangovers because it is a Christmas episode. Happy Christmas, everyone, by the way. If you are watching on YouTube, I have gone to the effort of putting on something red, even though it's actually late summer when we're recording
Mm.
this, so I'm actually boiling. But happy Christmas, nevertheless. And if you are partaking in a tipple or two, we have our resident gut health expert, Margaret, on hand to just chat about can your gut health stop hangovers?
Mm. I'm not going to spoil it for everyone. But yes, I didn't quite go to the F's, but it is a slightly sparkly t-shirt.
Yes, it is a bit festive, I'm not
Oh,
gonna
disco,
lie.
disco. There you go.
Yeah.
Um, I want to start actually going a little bit back of what happens in the body when it comes to the likes of a hangover and what the effect of alcohol is on the body. So it's a little bit of a lesson today before I go into whether gut health can actually help when it comes to alcohol. Yes, it can, but it does really depend on what you're putting in to start off with, as with everything. So there's really a few mechanisms at play when it comes with the variety of hangovers. Inflammation of the gut is definitely a significant contributor to the irritation that we can get from alcohol. And that can even lead to a poor intestinal barrier integrity, basically what we know as leaky gut syndrome.
Mm.
And that sets off your immune responses, your general lethargy when you get your hangover, and that feeling of just brain fog.
Just bleh.
Yeah,
It's all fun and games on the night out.
yeah.
You know, we are in party season when this goes out.
Mm.
So, like you said, we don't want to spoil that for
Oh
anyone
no, no.
because, a little bit of what you fancy does you good and all of that. But yeah, when you're out on the night out, it's like before you go out, you're kind of like, yeah, I'm just not going to go crazy. I'm just going to have one or two because, you're thinking sensibly. And then once you get to the party and you've had your one or two and you get in the mood, you just totally forget, don't you, about how you're going to feel the day after. And I don't know about you, but as you're getting older, you just can't be doing with it the
I'll get
same.
any more.
I just genuinely think now that it isn't worth that feeling.
Yeah.
So, I am better at drinking more moderately because I just cannot, I don't want to waste the whole day feeling like that lethargy that you're talking about and um not being able to get up till like lunchtime or, just like not being able to do anything and the whole day is a complete write-off.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, of course, alcohol's a diuretic, which means that you pee more when you drink
Hmm.
it. A little bit of a tip for that I learned, as I will be delving into this lovely book now and again, The Power of Positive Drinking. Um, if you wee as much as you possibly can before you actually start alcoholic drinking, because that in itself can stop you needing the toilet more, because we all, once the floodgates are open.
Yeah, you're always like, don't break the seal, don't go when you're out. I can go ages without
Yeah,
going when I'm out.
yeah, and then once it's done, that's
Yeah.
it. So a good top tip that this book gave was wee as much as you possibly can before you actually start the alcohol, because that will help then with you actually hopefully not needing to go to the
Is
toilet
that you
as
can
much.
only wee what you can wee though? Does that because I will always go for a last wee before I go out of the house,
Yeah.
like anyway, where I'm going anywhere, never mind going out drinking. So it just means like just empty your bladder, or
Yeah,
does it mean drink more water? I mean, obviously, drink more water during the day would be
yeah,
good anyway, wouldn't it, to hydrate?
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
maybe
you
drink
make sure.
drink more water, make sure you've emptied your bladder, and then go out.
Yeah, as much as you possibly can, because I don't know about you, Adele. I'm always this kind of person that goes through a way and it's like, oh, I could possibly do a little bit more though.
It's that wee anxiety. If you're
Yeah,
going out somewhere, like where will the next toilet be and will it be all right or will it be like not nice?
yeah.
And then you're like, don't want to go in there. So yeah, get it all done before you leave the house.
So I'm going to take a look at how alcohol passes through the body, why it has the potential to wreak havoc on the gut, and how optimal health gut can make your hangovers a bit more manageable for you.
Mm,
Because I'd love to say that having optimal gut health will mean that you can just throw caution to the wind.
yeah.
Fortunately not.
No, we didn't think you were going to tell us that. It wouldn't make sense, would it?
No, unfortunately not. But even after you take your first sip of alcohol, it takes between about 30 minutes to 2 hours for the body to fully absorb into the blood. The stomach absorbs around 20% of that, and it's a small intestine that takes a lion's share of 80% of it. So the gut doesn't like quite a lot of types of alcohol, as alcohol is actually treated by the human body as a toxin, which
Mm-hmm.
is no surprise recently. And that causes the body to mount an inflammatory response the next day during the hangover,
Mm,
which is quite a lot of the time why, if you have taken it too far, that you are sick. Because literally,
I'm just very sick. I'm just
yeah,
one of those people, which does again help me to limit my intake because I know that I will be the one. Look, I'm not very good at all, never have been. But I think if you're not like that and you can take more without being sick, that's probably not good because you've not got that break, have you? Because you're just like, oh, I'll be all right. I just feel a bit wozzy for a bit, but it'll be okay. You know, I know that I'll be really, but my body doesn't like it at all.
yeah, yeah. And you've made a good point there, actually. If you're a person that can tolerate quite a lot of alcohol, then your body doesn't have that response of actually getting rid of it.
Mm.
So yeah, absolutely.
My body gets rid of it very
Yeah.
effectively, but it isn't pleasant for me.
It can also trigger an abundance of stomach acid as well,
Mm,
which sets off a chain of events that cause pain and inflammation in the stomach. And that's referred to as gastritis. That can often happen just after one drink for some people. Um, I probably not now, but I did used to know a few people like that, that even it was just like, oh no, can't drink alcohol. It just gives us far too much acid within the stomach, that
mm,
burning pain, that nausea, even hiccups as well.
mm. And again, it depends on what type of alcohol, because I'm just thinking as you're talking there about that acid and that bubbly kind of bit, you know, like fizzy drinks, fizzy
Mhm.
alcohol. Like I like Prosecco, which is a gassy drink, I suppose, isn't it? So you can get that, you know, burping and wind release kind of thing. Gosh, we cover everything on this topic on this podcast, don't we? Releasing of wind, nice little burp after a few glasses of fizz. Very attractive.
So yeah, repeated exposure can definitely cause dysbiosis in the gut, um, and lead to chronic inflammation. But you're probably wondering what drinks would be best to avoid.
I was wondering that.
Go for
And
it.
what drinks would be best to partake in?
Yes. Yeah. So unfortunately, bubbles
Oh,
is likely to make you feel worse.
but yeah, but that's my favorite drink. So,
Hang on. Hang on.
yeah, just
Um,
you're breaking up.
there's been research done, those given either flat champagne or fizzy champagne, the one that had the fizzy stuff got drunk more quickly, and it's because of the bubbles in the alcohol
Yeah,
which cause it to be more rapidly absorbed.
dispersed and yeah.
Yeah. It's a little light at the tunnel though, as I have found a few brands that are lighter on the head and the stomach,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because, well, I don't think I've ever even spoke about this, Adele, but my tolerance of alcohol has got to the point where I can feel it at certain points in my head that it just absolute pain that I can't even drink the one drink anymore without
Oh,
having a
really?
severe reaction to it the next day.
Ah,
So
no.
that's one reason I got this book
Mm,
and why I've done a lot of research on it, because yeah, alcohol, isn't the best for you, but there are some occasions while the odd drink I would like to partake in.
yeah. And it is Christmas,
Exactly.
and this is one of those times.
Yeah.
I
So
like to start Christmas Day with a Bucks Fizz pretty early on. And again, I don't, normally have a lot.
yeah.
I've just, as I've just explained, because I'll be sick, but having a few glasses, it's just that kind of like, and for, I think just psychologically, you could have non-alcoholic bubbles and champagne and whatever it is that you like, couldn't you? But it just doesn't feel the same. It's like decaf coffee. It just, I'd rather have the proper stuff and have less than
Yeah.
have,
Yeah. So now hopefully I pronounce this right. Spanish people, I'm sorry. Frixene, Cava, Cordon, Negro Brut. Have you ever heard of that one?
the Frixinate, is that like the
Black
bubbly?
bottle.
Oh, it's a black bottle.
Yeah. It's a black bottle.
Ah.
It is widely out there. You can get it Asda, Sainsbury's,
Because I think I've heard
other
that
supermarkets are
brand.
available.
I've seen that brand and I've bought their Prosecco, I'm sure I have, but it's not a black bottle, so I'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, that one. That's not get the two mixed up. That one's Carver.
Yes. So it's
Spanish is
bubbles.
Carver. Yeah.
It's bubbles, but it's Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, as well, and this is the one close to my heart because it's produced well, it, the company itself is in Liverpool and it's called Think Wine. That is not so widely distributed. It isn't in supermarkets, but if you look for Think Wine on the internet, you'll find it there. Literally because it's low in sugar and it's organic.
So I was going to ask, why are these particular ones, obviously, if you've not finished going through, carry on, but just why are these ones like not as likely to cause that hangover? And is that because of the organic and low sugar content?
The Spanish one in particular, proper cava can only be produced in certain regions like Champagne.
Yeah.
And this is a very old cava. It's done by traditional means, and it there's just not a lot of additives in it at all. And it's what I've found out is you can have up to over 80 additives within the likes of wine.
Well, it's like that's what I was going to say. I mean, I personally can tolerate fizz better than I, used to have white wine and rosé wine, things like that. But what wine,
Yeah.
And I've heard that it's full of toxins,
Yeah.
or another word beginning with C. And it's full of like, stuff that you don't want in your body. So that's probably why a lot of people do get very severe hangovers drinking
Exactly.
wine.
Yeah. So those two in particular are the reason why, because they have a lot less additives. Sugar's the key as well, because sugar and alcohol helps create that hangover. So there's two fizzes there for you. Unfortunately, guys, beer. That's probably, I'll be honest with you, that is probably the worst drink that you can have. Reason being is because it has wheat and gluten in it. And it's those two factors that really do one, they can have a huge effect on your hormonal health when it comes to guys, which might be a bit of eye opener for them. We often can heard of beer, the beer gut. That can be linked to what's in the beer actually reacting to your hormones. Because you normally get, when you have a lot of beer, you normally get the moves as well.
Yeah. Yeah. The
So
beer belly.
Exactly.
And the moves.
Yeah. This can simply be because the beer is actually reacting with your hormones and creating more estrogen. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, guys, I'd love to say that there's some better beers out there.
But
Not really.
just the what beer's made up of is just not.
It's not the best. If you can
Yeah.
find, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't done a lot of research on this because I don't drink beer myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm glad you spent your time researching bubbles, personally speaking. But there
yeah,
are other drinks that people partake in.
yeah. Even in this book, guys, beer is the worst thing you can have.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going to go for it, what I would say, look for the locally produced stuff. But even then, check where the ingredients are coming from, because it's obviously the ingredients that will set off this effect.
Yeah. And just that thing about, because I know listening to this, if you're a beer drinker and you drink every weekend and this, that, and the other, and you might be thinking, oh God, I want to like research locally, like you want to go out and drink whatever's in the pub and the bars and things, but then try and just reduce slightly or go out slightly less often. If you're going out
Yeah,
lots of times every week, or you're getting stuff in and you're drinking in the house, you know, a step in the right direction. I always think, what baby step can you do if it seems a bit overwhelming for people to change their whole way of life and their diet? It's too overwhelming, so they don't bother doing anything. But cut one day a week out, or stop the drinking in the house and just drink when you go out, or just what little step you can take towards that better gut health, and your body will absolutely thank you for it. There's no rocket science to, obviously, alcohol contains stuff that our body doesn't like, as you just told us. It's treated as a toxin, and it's just sometimes you can just not think about it and just think, well, life's too short, and just keep going. But if you are listening to this, you are obviously interested in your health.
yeah,
So, what can you do to limit that consumption of that unhelpful substance, I guess?
yeah. And I go through because I'm damn sure there's a few gin drinkers out there.
Oh yes, it was so popular, wasn't it? I think it's like settled down a little bit, but it
It
just
has
went massive gin, didn't it? In the
definitely.
last 5 years, 6 years, or whatever.
It went absolutely
Mm,
mental. But it's not just the gin; it's the mixes as well that you have
mm-hmm.
with it. Because obviously, if you're getting a cheap mixer with it, there's more than likely artificial sweetener in there, which has its own knock-on effect, and whatever else it's got on there. So hopefully these are ones that you've all come across. Fever Tree.
Mm-hmm. I love a
To,
fever tree.
you know what? I love these without gin. Um,
Could
the
would you say, just on that quickly, Margaret, the tonic just occurred to me. Just like if I go out, I would probably ask for Diet Coke. I would ask for tonic light. But yeah,
mm,
in my diet in general, I stopped having things that are light because they're, like you've just said, full of sweeteners, and I'll have like full fat Greek yogurt and things like that. So I've kind of changed the way I do that. But I haven't when I go out, because the thought of having full fat Coke, which is full of sugar, or
yeah,
full fat, full on tonic or whatever, I just kind of always ask for the light. But what's your opinion on light tonic?
I'll be honest with you. If it's like the slimline one,
Yeah.
probably not the best. But these ones in particular are lighter tonic waters, but they're naturally lighter. For instance, the naturally light tonic water from Fever Tree is flavored with pure fructose instead
Hmm.
of us, the
Yeah, right. So if
artificial
it's
sweeteners.
a kind of cheaper tonic and it's the
Yeah,
slimline tonic, well, if you ask for it in a bar, you're not always sure what you're getting, are you? Sometimes you can see what
yeah,
tonics are available, and they may, if it's a good bar, they may stock. You're just gonna have to pay a little bit more, but they may stock the likes of Fever Tree then, because they
yeah,
are a better brand, nicer,
yeah.
nicer
Or
one.
or the Fenceman's tonic water as well.
Mm,
Um, that actually that is actually a light, lower calorie tonic water, but it's still using ingredients that aren't the artificial ones. And
hmm.
if you're at home, Waitrose tonic water,
Mm,
that sugar-free version is actually excellent.
right, that's good to know.
So there's a few tonic waters. I will skip through and give you a few ideas with the actual gins, because
Hmm.
as I say, gin went absolutely mad a few
Mm-hmm.
years ago. So a few ones when you're out there. Definitely London dry gin on the label. It's not an indicator where it's made. It just means that it's been distilled twice during the making, and it's the dry in it that lacks the sugar, which when it comes to alcohol is
Mm-hmm.
making it a better choice. So also Plymouth gin
Mm-hmm.
as well. That's slightly more fruity and full bodied, and it's quite aromatic. But again, that is one that is extremely high quality and best actually had just simply poured over ice, that one, if you're going to go
Mm.
for it. Mm.
Really?
Yeah.
I was waiting for some of my favourite brands, but you've not you've not said them, the ones that are in the cupboard.
I'm going to go through a few. So you've got Beefeater,
Oh yes.
which out of all London style gins, that's probably the only globally recognised one. And it's still actually made in London.
Mm.
You've also got Portobello Road gin, Tanqueray.
Tanqueray, yeah, I like a Tanqueray Seville. Is that okay?
It mentions Tanqueray number 10.
Mm, why
But
that one specifically?
excellent product. And it's the version sold in the UK is 43.1% and very agreeable.
Mm-hmm.
Now we also have Finsbury London gin, Hendrick's gin.
Yes, I was waiting for that one. Hendrix is really nice
Yeah,
with the tonic, and with like shavings of cucumber in and a little bit of black pepper.
yeah.
Nice.
And also Sipsmith gin.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you the odd one or two there.
Yeah, so beer drinkers, get on the gin.
You had one or two, you'll be fine. And I guess just to finish off, prepping your gut before the night out
Mm-hmm.
is an absolute winner. So
Wine in your stomach.
lining that stomach, absolutely, because alcohol can irritate and weaken the gut walls a hell of a lot more when there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
So extra fiber during and after your night out, because that is a good way of, let's just say, pushing the alcohol out more.
Yeah, and it's tricky that because no one's craving fibre the day after a big night out, are they?
No, it is
We
tricky.
just crave the junk.
Yeah, yeah. But bear with me on that one, because the quicker that you get
Hmm.
literally hit out,
Yes.
the better that you'll feel.
Yeah.
So definitely more fiber and probiotics to start building that gut bacteria up.
Mm. Because I'm guessing the alcohol is going to, does that kill off some of those friendly gut bacteria? They're all like, ah,
I'm nodding, yes.
yes. Yes, if you're not watching on YouTube, Margaret is nodding.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It has the ability to kill
Hmm.
gut microbes. So the more that you can do beforehand to prep for
Yeah,
that
and put back in.
and put back in, absolutely go ahead. So that'll be your full fat yogurt,
Y-
your favorite.
Your kefir and your
Yeah,
fermented foods.
absolutely. Which might not be the thing that you want on the
That's not
morning
going to be
after.
what I'm having on a Sunday after a big Saturday night out, the fermented foods. You're going to be going for the breads, aren't you? But this is the thing, maybe it's another topic. I don't know. Another topic for another day. It's like that. That's that after effect. So again, just be mindful. Obviously, if you're trying to eat a balanced diet and be generally healthy, obviously this time of year, yeah, it goes out the window. Enjoy yourself. It's December. It's Christmas. Blah blah. But it does throw everything out the next day, and then you eat, everything in sight, and it's just a vicious cycle,
Yeah,
then, isn't it?
yeah. And it's sometimes a lot of us not just the next day. As we get older,
Exactly.
those hangovers
I
can
know, and
creep
it
up,
just throws
creep up
everything
with
out.
you as
There, and
well.
then you've got guilt around that you then feel rubbish. So yeah, just bear that in mind. We're
Yeah.
not killjoys.
No, no, not
I
at all.
like a little drink as much as the next person, especially at party season. But yeah, just, this vehicle, this machinery, this organism that is our bodies and all the little things inside it, like those little gut bacteria that I like to think of like little ghosts, like little creatures. They need you to advocate for them and to look after them. So do be careful with them and don't go, killing them
Yeah,
all off and then feeling the after effects.
exactly. So hopefully that's given.
Oh, wow. Let us know if you are going to switch your brand of fizz, whether you're going to go from Prosecco to Cava, whether you're going to try all those tips, try the different gins. Let us know if you do a bit more research after listening to this and you find some other top tips and some organic beer brands or whatever it might be that are actually a better choice. You can let us know by any way that you get your podcast, you listen to your podcast. I'm sure you can comment there, or you can send us a message. Margaret or I are always happy to hear from you. So thank you very much, Margaret. That is very insightful. Do enjoy your parties, everyone, and drink responsibly, please.
Yes, have a great crimbo.
Have a good Christmas. Happy Christmas, everyone. And we'll see you on the other side.
Okay.
I don't know if this is our last one and then we're into New Year or if we might have another one in, I'm not sure, can't remember. So, happy Christmas. Bye for now.
Bye now.